Hey guys, this is the first video to my second, third channel, I forget. Anyway, my name's Italian Scrapper. I don't know what to say. I'm starting up a new channel for scrapping. It's like a second job of mine. I work in I guess you can call it construction, but Georgia Kitchens is a family business of ours. Started back in 1960 by my grandfather. They specialize in kitchen and bathroom design and remodeling, but we do construction basically. So what I learned over the past few years, that there's a lot of value in metal, and it's just thrown away so much that one, it's an environmental hazard. Two, we could put it to good use, put some of the items to good use that we find. Three, you make money off of it. And four, you keep the metal within the United States so we don't have to import it from other countries. So, and it promotes jobs. It's just good. It's good for the environment, and it's another way of making money. Now, I have a whole bunch of tools that I got. I have a Sawzall, a skill saw, like skill saw, the circular. Sawzall is the flashlight. Got my power drill, Craftsman. Just got a bunch of new tools recently, and you just need basic tools: screwdrivers, knives, like this. Is that Craftsman? Yep. And some other stuff. It's there's not a lot to scrapping. You just have to make sure that you know what you're doing and be careful. Have some knowledge of tools and things like that. And this is just my little station that I have in my dad's house. Anyway, now one of the most simple things to scrap are wires. So I'm going to show you my favorite tool, and some of these tools are actually hand-me-downs from family members of mine. My family, when they came over from Italy, they couldn't find any work because no one wanted any Italians that were technically the enemy during World War II. They didn't want them working for them, and they thought of them badly, and they oppressed them. So my family had to start from the bottom with next to nothing from when they came over. That's actually how my grandparents on my mom's side, or my grandfather and his brother on my mom's side, were able to start their metal shop and everything. That was their first business, and they've become very successful. But they had to do it by themselves, and scrapping was the way that they were able to make some money to start a living. Anyway, but I try and have everything made in the USA. I guess, nationalist and patriotic. Any North American or European made products I like. Craftsman, I tried. Now they're starting to make them in China. Yeah. Anyway, this is an old Craftsman Vice, and it was made in the US probably in 1960s. This is my favorite tool. It's from a company, North American company called TNT Tooling. I don't know why the picture just went weird. It's a wire stripper. I got the newest one of the Romex hole. So I'm going to show you guys. This is just going to be kind of an intro video showing you how to strip the simplest kind of scrap. By the way, I got a bunch of stuff that I have to strip. That is a bucket of a bit over $100 worth of copper. Sorry, I have a fan going, by the way. This is an old TV from this house that the color went out, and it's just a pain. There's some light fixtures from work. There's a dehumidifier. Fuck this. There is a whole bunch of mixed metals. I have more at my mom's house, like a bunch more. There's an old typewriter, and there's a bag full of aluminum and copper wiring. One thing to keep in mind, make sure that you're not stealing. Make sure that it's okay what you're taking is alright to scrap. It's alright. It was just going to be thrown out. You'd be doing public a favor by not having it go to waste. Oh, whoops, sorry about that. And make sure things don't work, because scrap is the least value of things. See if I can get this thing positioned right. Might have to have something behind it. Get a shim, something good for carpentry. Let's break it. See if that'll work. It's not gonna fit. Break it again. Let's try that. Let's try that. This is not the best setup. Again, this is my first video. Hopefully, give me some leeway. It's not a professional or anything with YouTube, but I do know a lot about working with tools and stuff. There we go. That's a good angle. So I just came back from work today. It is 24th of June. It's Tuesday. Got my water bottle. So let's start. Remember your safety equipment. Gloves. If you're dealing with very dusty or old things, use standard mask, or what I like to just be overprotective, I use a respirator. If you're cutting something, ear protectors, and glasses, safety glasses. I would say have these two things on all the time. Gloves, safety glasses. Alright, so let's see, what tools am I going to need? I'm going to need some wire cutters. I'm going to take some, actually no, I won't need this. So I'm going to take stuff out of the bag. So I have a whole bag of wire strip. This is, I think it's 14 or 12 gauge Romex copper wire. So there's a ground wire, which it has cardboard or plastic, or not plastic, cardboard or paper insulation around it. Then there's your neutral, and then your live. I think those are the correct terms, I'm not sure. So what you're gonna do is adjust the setting on here. I've already done that. Or you could just run it down with a box cutter, such as this. Get these at Home Depot, Sears, Lowe's. Replace the blade, and there's this one. That's what I like about it. Same price as a regular box cutter. Cut it down like that. It's opened up. And then you can start stripping the individual wires apart, like this, like that. And just peel the insulation back. There's your #1 copper. It's pure copper. Well, it should be at least. That's your most value. Prices change all the time. Keep in mind, check online sources for values whenever you go to a scrapyard, so you make sure that you're not being ripped off. I'm just going to say this, I learned scrapping just on my own and from some YouTubers. The Moose Scrapper, Mike the Scrapper, yeah, them. And just I kind of learned the other stuff on my own, but again, please be careful when you're messing with electronics. Make sure that they're unplugged. Make sure that some electronics will actually hold their charge. Make sure any batteries are taken out. Make sure that there's no gases within them. Some things are actually illegal to strip, like any cooling systems, like refrigerators or air conditioner units. They have Freon in them, and it's illegal to let that off in the atmosphere because it's an ozone depleting gas. Since I cut this, it's going to be a pain now to strip it. So I am going to see what I can do. start from the other end, because that's just going to be our easiest bet, or our best bet. It's like a giant curly fry. At least that's how I wound it up. Also, keep in mind, computers are great. They have a bunch of gold in them. But you have to be careful because the gold purifying process is very dangerous, and you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what you're doing with a lot of this stuff. So you just pull that through. It strips on the other side. Breaks it apart. You have your ground wire. Zoom in there. You have your ground wire, neutral, and your live. This seems to be wet. I don't know why. I guess it was left out in the rain. So I'm going to zoom back out. Pointing back down. This is a pain to angle. And it's falling. This is not professional. Whatever. Doing. Ah, come on. Stay. Oh, let's stay. Well, it looks like this is going to not be cooperative. So, let's just try doing that. There we go. That's cooperating. So I'm going to pull the rest of this wire through. These things cost about $70. So when you start out, you might just want to try doing it with the old box cutter method. It's not as safe, not as efficient, and but just know what you're doing. Use common sense. Look more into this. I'm just showing these as an example. So this thing, it cuts right through it nicely. It's a bit tangled right now, so it's taking a bit longer. But once it's untangled, it goes through it nicely. Oh God. Yeah, I think this was left outside or something because all the cardboard inside of it's wet. And it's ripping apart as I'm speaking. There we go, so it's all apart. Yep, that's all wet. I'm gonna move the tools out of the way so I don't get whoops. Take that off. I have some decent gauge copper wire. That off. And I'll just wrap it up around my hand and put it in my copper bucket, which is running very low on space, which is a good thing, but I need to find more space. I don't have any Tupperware, not Tupperware, but one of those tubs around me, so I have to make do with what I have right now. Crush and down. That was something else that fell. So now we're going to strip this. Again, it's going to be much harder without this wire stripper. Make sure that you have a nice place to store it. Make sure that you're organized with buckets. Make sure that things are cleaned off. You'll get the best value for things. Like, I'm going to strip all this extra stuff in another video. But, again, this is just secondary job. It's not an immediate form of income or anything like that. It's good for making just a little extra money, that's all. And it's like modern day treasure hunting, alright? You might find a whole bunch of good stuff. You might just find simple old radios or whatever that you could strip for very little metal. The older the things, usually the better because they have more metal in them. A lot of manufacturers of things today go cheap and are making things with plastic or stuff. Now, the only thing that I think is okay that's a substitute to metal is carbon fiber. It's actually a little bit stronger. But yeah, the older things are better, especially with tools as well. This thing sadly is made in China, so I'm hoping that it lasts me, and it's Craftsman. When I was younger, all Craftsman stuff used to be made in the US. Some of these hand tools like this are still made in the US. Where's that box of blades? Here it is. This box of blades, still made in the US. It's backwards, sorry. I gotta change that setting. So now you have this. Put this right in your bucket. Put all this insulation. Oh wait, I still have this wire strip. Anyway, you put all this insulation in the garbage or recycling. It really, as far as I know, it doesn't matter. But because it's plastic and rubber and cardboard, it could have some lead on it. It's messy. Make sure you wash your hands, get cleaned up after this, because this is messy and dirty. So, anyway, that's a little quick intro of my channel. I will hopefully be making more videos. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, and thank you for patience with me. Not the best commentator, but that's alright, at least to me. Anyway, thank you guys, and have a good day. Bye.